Good day. Here are the top stories of the Manila Times for November 6, 2020. Democrat Joe Biden pushed closer to the 270 electoral college votes needed to carry the White House, securing victories in the blue wall battlegrounds of Wisconsin and Michigan, and narrowing President Donald Trump's path. With just a handful of states still up for grabs, Trump tried to press his case in court in some key swing states. It was unclear if any of his campaign's legal maneuvering over balloting would succeed in shifting the race in his favor. As of this broadcast, Biden has 264 electoral college votes to Trump's 214. But what would a Biden victory actually mean for the Philippines? Albay 2nd District Representative Jose Maria Joey Salceda said on Thursday that this would restore closer ties with traditional U.S. allies such as the Philippines in terms of trade, financing, and international aid. Security analysts Ramon Casiple and Romel Banlawi meanwhile agree that if Biden wins, there would be more flexibility in Washington's foreign policy toward the country. The Philippines expects to start inoculations for the COVID-19 by May next year, the country's vaccine czar said on Thursday. Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., who is also the chief implementer of the national policy against COVID-19, confirmed the target for the start of immunization set by the Department of Science and Technology. The inoculations may be moved to the end of next year if problems in supply and demand crop up, Galvez said in a TV interview. The government said production damage and losses to agriculture and infrastructure brought about by the Typhoon Quinta, international name Molave, and Super Typhoon Rolly or Goni has surged to 11.409 billion. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council's Thursday situational report said the Bicol region sustained most of the damage to agriculture and infrastructure, with 7.251 billion and 2.353 billion respectively. Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, and Cavite also declared states of calamity over the typhoon's heavy effects. On top of world news, England entered a second coronavirus lockdown on Thursday, with more doubts about the stringent policy than the first time around. Prime Minister Boris Johnson abandoned a recently introduced system of regional curbs and announced the shutdown after dire warnings that hospitals could soon be overwhelmed with COVID-19 cases. In business, higher prices of food, particularly meat and fish, and non-alcoholic drinks pushed the country's headline inflation to 2.5% in October, the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA reported on Thursday. The figure is higher than the 2.3% in September and 0.8% a year earlier. National statistician Claire Dennis Mapa attributed the acceleration to higher food prices, noting that inflation picked up to 2.1% last month from 1.5% in September after easing for 5 straight months. In sports news, tennis great Rafael Nadal became only the 4th man to reach 1,000 match wins. He reached his milestone on Thursday in Manila by defeating Feliciano Lopez 4-6, 7-6, 6-4 in a 20,000-seater stadium in Paris left empty because of the coronavirus pandemic. It was also the second milestone he reached in the City of Lights this year, having won the French Open last month to tie Federer with 20 majors. The 34-year-old Nadal joins towering company in Jimmy Connors 1,274, Roger Federer 1,242, and Ivan Lendl 1,068 as the only men's 1,000 club members since the Open era began in 1968. Stephen Kuwun-Jeng is the Times featured columnist on the front page. He writes about the aftermath of the U.S. elections, of Donald Trump, and what to expect under a Biden presidency. In its editorial, the Times urges President Rodrigo Duterte to review his appointment of a vaccine czar. Read why in the full version of the editorial in the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And keep up with the times.